Level 1, Flailing Beginners. You showed up because you thought kickboxing looked cool in the movies. Fast hands, spinning kicks, knockout power. What you didn't expect was the first round of shadowboxing to feel like drowning on dry land. Your arms are heavy. Your legs won't cooperate. You're breathing like you just ran a marathon and you haven't even hit anything yet. These people throw punches with their shoulders instead of their hips. Their kicks have no pivot. They're basically just lifting their leg and hoping momentum does the work. It doesn't. You ask them to throw a jab cross hook, and they give you 3 separate techniques with a full second pause between each one like they're waiting for applause. Level 1s show up in running shoes and think that's fine. It's not fine. They can't hold their hands for more than 30 seconds without their shoulders screaming. The heavy bag becomes their worst enemy. They hit it once, it swings back, and suddenly they're playing defense against an inanimate object. They think they're training to fight. They're actually just learning how much cardio they don't have. If you walked into a kickboxing gym today with zero experience, this is you, and that's okay. But understand something, kickboxing is unforgiving. The technique either works or it doesn't. There's no faking your way through pad work. The coach knows, everyone in the gym knows. You either put in the work or you stay trash forever. Before we go further, hit that subscribe button. You're here for real combat sports content, so don't miss what's coming next. Level 2 Combination Robots. 2 to 3 months in, you've learned the basic combos. 1-2, 1-2 hook, jab, cross, lead, hook, rear, uppercut. You could throw them when the coach calls them out. You can even make them look decent if you're fresh and warmed up and nobody's pressuring you. Level 2 fighters have figured out how to pivot on their kicks. The roundhouse doesn't look like they're trying to punt a football anymore. They've learned to keep their hands up without consciously thinking about it every second. They can hold pads without their partner getting frustrated. Progress, right? Sure, but only in the gym. The problem with level 2 is they're stuck in patterns. Everything is choreographed. They throw the same combinations in the same order because that's what they've drilled. You give them an opponent who doesn't follow the script and they freeze. They can't adapt. They're like a video game character with only 3 attack buttons and no defense. These fighters think they're ready to spar because they can hit pads. Then someone feints a jab and they flinch so hard they almost fall over. They throw their best combination and get countered with a straight right they never saw coming. Welcome to level 2, where everything you practice becomes useless the second someone punches back. Level 3, Gym Warriors. 6 months to a year of constant training, you've done enough sparring to not panic when someone comes at you. Your footwork doesn't look like you're walking on hot coals anymore. You can throw 4 or 5 punch combinations that actually flow together. Your kicks have legitimate power behind them. Level 3s understand range. They know when to box, when to kick, when to get out. They've developed favorite techniques. Maybe they got a nasty lead hook. Maybe their liver kick makes people rethink their life choices. They're competent in the gym. They win most of their sparring rounds against other hobbyists. But here's the thing about level 3. They're dangerous against people who don't know how to fight. They're target practice against people who do. They've never competed. They've never felt what it's like when someone's actually trying to hurt them, not just win a sparring round. They've never dealt with ring rust, fight nerves, the pressure of an audience watching you get punched in the face. Level 3 is the ceiling for most people. They train twice a week, get a good workout, feel tough, and never push beyond that. Which is completely fine if you're doing this for fitness, but if you think you're learning to fight, you're still playing pretend. Real fighting starts at level 4. Before we get there, do yourself a favor and subscribe. We've got more combat sports breakdowns coming that'll change how you see fighting. Level 4, Tested Fighters. Over a year of dedicated training. You've competed, you've done inter-club fights or amateur bouts. You know what it feels like to stand across from someone who's actually trying to knock you out. You've been hit hard enough to question your choices. You've been tired enough to want to quit but didn't. Level 4 fighters have legitimate skills. Their defense actually works under pressure. They can slip punches, check kicks, counter it effectively. They understand setups. They know a jab isn't just a jab. It's a tool to measure distance, to blind their opponent, to set up the power hand. They've learned to fight smart, not just hard. What separates level 4 from level 3 is mental toughness. These people have been tested. They've fought through exhaustion. They've taken body shots that made them want to cry. They've been dropped and got back up. They know what they're made of because someone tried to break them and failed. Level 4s are dangerous. Their straight right can put you to sleep. Their low kick will cripple your leg. Their boxing combinations are clean enough to slip through tight guards. Put them in a real situation, and they're handling it. They're not champions, but they're absolutely fighters. Level 5, serious competitors. 2 to 3 years minimum. Multiple fights under their belts, some wins, some losses. They've fought different styles, they've adjusted their game based on what works and what doesn't. These fighters have developed their own identity. Some are pressure fighters, some are counterpunchers, some are technical boxers who happen to throw devastating kicks. Level 5 fighters understand fight IQ. They know how to pace a fight. They know when to explode, when to coast, when to tie up and recover. They read patterns, they exploit weaknesses. You drop your right hand after your jab, they're taking your head off with a left hook. You're heavy on your lead leg, they're chopping it down until you can't stand. What makes level 5 special is adaptability. They aren't robots running programs. They're problem solvers who adjust mid-fight. You're beating them with low kicks, they check counter and change the dynamic. You're outboxing them, they close the distance and turn it into a brawl. Every round is a chess match, and they're playing to win. But level 5 has limits. They're strong regionally, maybe nationally, but put them against someone who trains at a world-class gym with world-class coaches and world-class sparring partners, and the gap shows. That's the difference between a good and elite. Level 6, championship level. These fighters train at elite gyms. They've sparred with world champions. They've fought professionally for years. Their technique is refined to the point where nothing is wasted. Every movement has purpose. Every strike is thrown with bad intentions. Level 6 fighters are complete. Their boxing sharp enough to hang with pure boxers. Their kicks are heavy enough to crumple opponents. Their defense is layered. They don't just have good hands or good kicks, they have both, and they know exactly when to use what. 3 rounds or 5 rounds, doesn't matter. They're conditioned to fight at high intensity from the opening bell to the final second. What separates level 6 from everyone else is consistency at the highest level. They make world-class fighters look average. They're timing your strikes before you throw them. They're countering combinations mid-sequence. They operate 3 moves ahead while you're still processing what just happened. But even level 6 isn't the peak. The very top, the legends who changed kickboxing forever, that's a different conversation entirely. Level 7, all-time greats. The names that defined eras. Giorgio Petrosyan, who went years without losing and made elite fighters look helpless with pure technique. Niki Holskin, the Dutch assassin who turned kickboxing into an art form. Rico Verhoeven, the current king who's defended his heavyweight title more times than most fighters even compete. Tenshin Nasukawa, the Japanese prodigy who moves like he's not bound by the same physics as everyone else. Legends haven't just mastered kickboxing, they've transcended the sport. Petrosyan fights like he's playing a video game on easy mode. Perfect distance management, impossible timing, 0 wasted movement. He doesn't just beat you, he makes you look like you don't belong in the ring with him. That's not talent. That's decades of obsessive dedication to perfection. Level 7 fighters have changed how the sport is coached. Trainers study their footage. Fighters copy their techniques. Kids in Thailand, the Netherlands, Japan, they're trying to move like these guys, fight like these guys, think like these guys. These aren't just champions. They're the standard by which everyone else is measured. What makes a legend isn't just winning. It's dominance over time. It's making the impossible look easy. It's inspiring the next generation to push the sport even further. Champions win belts. Legends define eras. Now you know the levels, so if you're training kickboxing, which level are you actually at? Not where you want to be. Where are you right now? Because most people overestimate themselves by 2 levels minimum. But sparring doesn't lie. Competition doesn't lie. The ring exposes everything. But knowing the levels is just half the equation. You also need to know what type of kickboxer you are. There are 7 types, and you're definitely one of them.